Good morning. Today's my appointment with the orthopedic surgeon about my torn rotator cuff and other torn and damaged tissues in that area from my fall in my garage. So I'm worried about it because the doctor feels as if the orthopedic surgeon is going to say that it's going to require surgery. And if it does, my insurance stinks, y'all. I'm worried about how much my portion is going to be. If it's not that and I only have to go to PT, that's expensive too. And if I have to have surgery, I'm going to then have to have PT. So, I make enough money these days, more than I've ever made, but I'm single, so I just have the one income and I'm raising 2 teenage grandchildren. Just bought a house in December. Everything's been fine so far, but I'm always on edge, worried about, I make enough to pay for the house and I don't have any other debt. But you have to worry about the big things like this, like surgery that you didn't count on because you were stupid and fell in the garage. That could have been avoided had I just been paying more attention, and it wouldn't have happened. But as I've said before, I lost all of my savings and retirement in the years following my divorce in 2013, and I've worked hard to build myself back up to a point where I could feel financially comfortable. And I'm okay right now, but these big expenses, I haven't filed my taxes yet. I got an extension because my taxes the last few years have been ridiculous, and I'm worried about that as well. At the same time, blessed and thankful that I've made enough money that I have to now worry about paying my taxes instead of getting a refund, which was nice, but I made a lot less money then. So I'm thankful and I'm grateful to God that He keeps blessing me and blessing my business. It's just, I guess I feel like I can never get ahead and I can never get a good savings going because things are always happening. And that's my worry and my concern. It's a strange reality to be making decent money and still fearful. But I think, if I had plenty in savings and retirement, I wouldn't feel that way. I wonder, right now I'm able-bodied and I'm working and I'm doing okay. But number one, it's real estate. You can go months without making anything. And then the way it usually works for me is, I had 5 closings in March, 1 in April, none in May. Then in June, now I've got 6. I had 7, but I lost 1 the other day. And that's common as well. You're living on the edge wondering, am I going to lose another one? Am I going to lose 2 more? What if I lose all of them? Not realistic. But I have, 2 more closings on Friday, several more throughout the month. I don't have anything beyond that. And I'm always worried, like, what if I don't get any more? And then, I over the months live on what I'm making this month, and then now this surgery, and then what if other big things happen? It's just a constant. I know I need to quit worrying because God always has my back and He always takes care of me. I'm faithful to Him. He's faithful to me. So I need to stop that. My granddaughter's quinceanera is next Thursday. We've been planning that for over a year. And when we started planning that, I was in the RV, debt-free. I didn't have a mortgage. So I let it get bigger than I otherwise would have. I've got the event planner, the photographer, the DJ, the caterer. We kept it at 60 people, but even at that, it's running into quite a bit of money. And again, I'm so thankful and blessed that my event planner and my photographer are friends of mine who, they've been with me through this journey of losing my daughter and raising grandkids, and they're giving me a break, and I just so appreciate that. I love them so much for that, because that is definitely helpful. As well, the dress I ordered for her in April has never come in. And that was because we found, although beautiful, a quinceanera dress from Amazon coming from China. $170, but every bit as gorgeous as the ones that these girls pay thousands of dollars for. but it has never come, and the quinceanera is a week from tomorrow. So we were forced to find, a backup. What are we going to do now? And I found out that there was a store in the mall that I used to manage. I've been gone 10 years now, but I used to manage the store. And while I was there, I brought in a fashion store. He's got prom dresses and homecoming dresses and tuxes and all those kinds of things. And I called him and wasn't even sure if he would remember me. And he was so thrilled that I called. And I went in and she made a beeline straight to this gorgeous gown, absolutely gorgeous. And he as well was so thankful to me for all those years ago and how I helped him get in there and get set up in the mall. And he's done very well there. That he gave me a break on this gown, but it was still another $500 that I hadn't planned on spending. But I want it to be nice for her. My grandkids that I'm raising are half Spanish and Puerto Rican, and they don't have not one of that side of their family in their lives. It angers me and it hurts. I hurt for them that side of their family has nothing to do with them. And it's their loss. These kids are amazing, and I feel every day so blessed to have them because they're such good kids, and they're both honor students, and they're just amazing. And these people are missing out on that, the joy of having these kids in their lives. But I know that they hurt. They've lost their mom, and their dad is just not a good person, and the grandparents have nothing to do with them. So it's a bad situation, but and I can't make up for all of that. I'm trying, but there's only so much I can do. I can't take away that pain of their dad not being in their lives and not helping, and their other grandparents, and none of the rest of that side of their family are having anything to do with them. So I asked myself this morning, Jennifer, what is it that you are really afraid of? Because you're always afraid, no matter how good things are. You're always afraid. And I think it's just, what if something happens to me in the next year or two? I mean, I'm 62. What if something happens to me and I can't work anymore? I don't have a spouse. I don't have parents left. What am I going to do if that happens? And part of me says, quit worrying about that, because, I'm borrowing trouble. I know that. I'm bad at doing that, borrowing trouble that isn't there. And probably will never be there. I don't want to work until I'm 95, but it feels like I'm always going to have to. And that concerns me. This house that I bought in December, I bought solely because the kids were in one room in that RV, and that was fine when they were in 4th and 5th grade, but not anymore now that they're going into 10th and 11th, and they needed their own rooms. And so I'm glad I did it. The house feels more like home now, and it's beautiful, and I love it. But I do miss small living. I do miss my RV life. I miss being 100% debt-free without a mortgage, being able to just go and do whatever. And I will want to get back to that when the kids are grown and gone. The house is nice. I don't want all this for just me. That's not how I want to live out my... He's looking at a squirrel. That's not how I want to live out my older years. I want to go and do and have fun. He can never catch him, although he tries. All the time he tries. Get it, Jack! Anyway, I think that's my biggest fear is what if I can't ever retire, and what if I get to a point where I can't work? You know, losing my sister and brother-in-law in a car accident and losing my daughter and losing my mom pretty quickly to leukemia that we didn't know she had taught me something. Life can change in an instant. Things can happen that you're not expecting to happen. And there you are. Tomorrow isn't necessarily going to look like today. Next week isn't necessarily going to look like this week. So I think that's part of my uncertainty is things happen and that you don't expect. You know, what if my air conditioning system goes out today, you know, and I need a new one? What if I need a new roof? You know, the roof is 8 years old on this house, so it should still have a number of years left. But, you know, not long after we moved in, my granddaughter backed through the garage door. Not her fault. She's 14 years old. The car needed to be backed out. I said, do it. And she was incredulous and said, really? I can do that? And I said, yeah, I think you can do that. Well, that was my own fault. She'd had no driving experience and she accidentally hit the gas instead of the brake and took out the garage door of our newly purchased house. So that was a very expensive mistake on my part, telling her it was okay to do that. So I'm very much more careful nowadays about saying things like that. Got to protect this home and my money. So yeah, she is going to be 15 next Thursday. So it will be time to get her restricted driver's license. And that terrifies me. But for today, I have a roof over my head and the kids' heads. I have a car that's paid off, has no problems. I have food in the fridge. I have money in the bank. I have 9 credit cards with a 0 balance. So even if I did run out of money, we wouldn't be hungry for a while. But I don't like credit card debt. So, you know, I use my cards and I pay them about every 3 days because I don't like keeping debt on credit cards, and I don't pay interest. I refuse to pay interest. So I have all that. I have closings coming up. So I have no reason to worry. And I'm going to make a point today to just try and let all that go. I don't know what I'm going to find out from the orthopedic surgeon. It's going to be an expense, but maybe it won't be as much of an expense as I'm thinking it could be. You know, I'm not going to borrow that worry either until I find out for sure. So I'm going to try not to do that. I'm going to try to get up from here, go get ready for my appointment, go to it, and then, you know, it's an hour away, and I'm going to try to find a nice park to walk in afterwards and just kind of decompress, de-stress, think over everything the surgeon's going to tell me. And, or if I can't find that, I'm going to look for a thrift shop over there because I love looking at thrift shops. I shouldn't because I don't need anything, and I know if I go in one I'll buy something. So maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should just look for a trail. I don't know. We'll see. On another note, y'all, that bird feeder over there that only feeds the squirrels, I saw that trick on YouTube the other day where you cut the bottom out of a bottle and you put it up there, and when they go up the pole they have to go up through that bottle and they push the bottle all the way up to the feeder, but they can't get to the feeder. But I came out this morning and there's 2 squirrels in the bird feeder. I don't know yet how they did it, but that is not working. If anybody has any hints for me, please let me know, because that irritates me. They already have their own, where is it? Picnic table up there with their food in it. So they need to stay out of my bird feeder. If anybody has any ideas, please let me know so I can be able to feed my beautiful birds. I pray you all have a wonderful day. It's Wednesday, hump day. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Get out there and find something productive to do. Find something to do that just gives you joy and peace and happiness, and make it a good one. Peace out.